Hello, Fairview Tigers, and welcome to the 5th episode of the podcast Everything Tiger Sports on the Speaking of Fairview YouTube channel, a channel dedicated to sharing with you what's up with the Tigers as they focus on academics, athletics, arts, and acts of service. I'm your host, Corey McCall, and today I'll be reviewing the past days of winter sports, previewing the upcoming games and meets, and then also highlighting one of the fall sports teams, which this week I'll be recapping the girls' tennis team season. Also in today's episode, there will be an interview with Trinity Fox, a key player on the Fairview tennis team. The first segment of the show will be called the Days in Review and Preview. Starting with the swimming and diving team, now that both the qualifying girl and boy swimmers have competed at districts, the qualifying state swimmers are now preparing for the state meet, which is on Friday the 19th. Congrats to the swimmers who have qualified for states, and I wish them the best of luck next Friday. Hopefully they will bring home some hardware. Let's stop practicing our backstroke and go practice our dunks. On Wednesday the 10th, the girls basketball team played in the district semifinals against Greenville, a game that was a rematch of last year's D10 quarterfinals, where the Trojans narrowly availed the Tigers by a score of 48-42. This rematch ended differently than last year as Fairview availed Greenville by a score of 36-16, behind 14 points from sophomore Sarah Januso. After winning on the 10th, the ladies will now be playing for the Class 3A district title on Saturday the 13th at home against Lakeview at a time that is still being determined. This game will be the second time the girls basketball team has played in the D10 championship in school history. The only other time was during the 2019 season where Fairview fell to Mercier's Prep by a score of 49-29. I wish the ladies the best of luck with their game on Saturday. Hopefully they can make history and win the district title. It is now time for a segment called Fall Back On, where I will highlight one of the fall sports teams. Today, I'll be recapping the girls' tennis team season and interviewing sophomore standout Trinity Fox. This past season, the girls had a very successful season, finishing at 12-6. They were also the District 10 team champions and won in the first round of the PIAA playoffs. In addition, Fox was the District 10 singles champion. After making it to the state quarterfinals, the Tigers fell to Greater Latrobe High School, where their season came to a close. Additionally, 5 players were named to the All-Region team. Senior Emma Schutte was named as a first-team All-Region player for doubles. Senior Hallie Myers was named as a first-team All-Region player for doubles. Senior Julia Bleicher was named as a second-team All-Region player for doubles, while Senior Grace Plotz was also named as a second-team All-Region player for doubles. And sophomore Trinity Fox was named as a first-team All-Region and first-team All-District player for singles. Here's my conversation with Fox about this tennis season. First, I would like to congratulate you on winning the District 10 championship for singles, being named to the first team All-Region team for singles, and being named to the first team All-District 10 team for singles as well. All three are amazing achievements, especially considering the fact that you're only a sophomore and you have 2 more years playing tennis. So, kind of going off that, my first question is, who is your athletic role model and why?
I don't know. I mean, I have, a lot of people in my life that I look up to as far as, role models and, what they've accomplished and stuff. But, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people tend to see role models as, people at higher level, pro players, whereas I tend to see more role models in, my coaches. I know our head coach, Coach Rick, is a huge role model for me because you can just really tell that he loves the game so much and really just wants the best for us all the time.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I never really thought of that. A lot of people do think of role models as people who are, professional, but it's also good to think of role models like that, too, because they also have, achievements that you may be, actually able to attain, and that's super cool. And so my other question I have is, when did you start playing tennis and what got you interested in playing in the first place?
I started playing when I was 5. the like packet that comes out for the Fairview summer programs and stuff, my mom used to read to me when I was like 3. And for some reason, I just had always said to her every year that it came out and she would read them to me that I wanted to play tennis, but you couldn't get into the program until you were 5. So the summer that I was finally 5, I started in the program, and I just really loved it. And I took private lessons that winter, and I went back into the program that next summer, and I've never stopped.
Yeah, that's awesome. My sister actually did the like summer program for a couple of times, and then I don't know, she moved on to other sports, but that's super cool that like that's how you started out. That's a nice story. And what has been your best moment on the tennis court, and why?
I think my best moment, as far as like feeling like the accomplishment and that everything I had done has like paid off and stuff, was right after I had won the district singles championship this past year. Just because like we'd gone through so much work that day, the match had gotten delayed because of rain at Villa, and then we were playing, and then it got dark, and we had to move to Fairview and dry the courts there, and just for it to all finally become real. I'd also, the night before I played, I had actually dislocated 2 of my ribs and had to go to like a family doctor to get that fixed the night before. And it was just like a lot of pressure, and I was really unsure of if I was going to be able to play at my best. And to come off the court having won and the whole team running on and having like a big just like group moment, I just really felt in that moment that I had like done everything I'd ever like hoped that I could.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. I knew about the like rain delay or whatever, like drying the courts. I saw that on Twitter, but I didn't know about the like ribs. Like, was that a tennis injury that you got?
Yeah, I was at a lesson the night before, and I was just hitting like I normally would, and I felt like a sharp pain in my side, and I didn't know what it was at the time until I got home. And luckily we have a family friend that's a doctor, and he was able to like figure it out and put them back in place. But it was like 10 o'clock at night, and we had to go to his office. And
wow, that's crazy. Can you explain a little bit about how this past tennis season was different from years past? Like, how did the pandemic affect your team, if it did at all?
I think one of the worst parts of it was that we made it so far. Like, I think we were the first team to ever make it as far as we did, as far as girls tennis goes, in like states. And then unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to go to Hershey like we normally would. We were only able to go to Pittsburgh, which I think it would have been a really fun like bonding experience as a team to go to Hershey, and we stay in hotels, and it's just like almost like a rite of passage for winning teams, and we didn't get that this year.
Wait, so you won districts, but then does like the district winner is all like the whole entire state state playoffs at Hershey?
I believe it's usually the first, like, if you win districts, then you play the first round of states either in Pittsburgh or in Erie, and we won that first round that would have been there, and then we still won another round. We actually would have played 2 rounds, I believe, in Hershey. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's unfortunate, but hopefully you guys can go to Hershey again or like if you can go to Hershey next year, if that's even possible. And my last question is, what goals would you like you or your tennis team to accomplish next season?
Next season, I hope that we can really build as a team. I feel like this year we lost all of our doubles players. They were all seniors and are going to graduate. So I feel like this coming year is going to be a big like building year for us to try to get our team back to a place where we could beat a team like McDowell. As far as like personally, I really hope to be able to go out there and win another district title and maybe get farther in states than I did this past year, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, those are awesome goals. And yeah, I knew you guys had a lot of seniors, so that's definitely something that your team is probably going to want to try working on. And so thank you so much for your time today. Once again, congrats on your tennis season and all the accolades you received for your season.
Thank you so much. It's been really fun.
Once again, congratulations to the girls' tennis team on an amazing season and to all the players recognized for their hard work and skill. This is now the end of the show, so to wrap up, I would like to wish the winter sports teams continued success throughout this whole week. For game times and highlights and details about how to stream games and meets, please check the Fairview Tiger Athletics account on Twitter with the handle @Fairview_Tigers. Finally, I would like to give a big thank you to several people and apps that have helped make this podcast possible, especially my honors public speaking teacher, Mrs. Stevens, and my principals, Dr. Lane and Mr. Bell, for giving me this opportunity to make this type of project. Trey Blystone for letting me use his outstanding photography that has been able to capture so many of Fairview student athletes in action. The app iMovie for enabling me to put together this podcast, including allowing me to use its free music. The Fairview athletes for agreeing to be a part of this Everything Tiger Sports, and you for listening to this podcast. I'm Corey McCall, and this is Everything Tiger Sports. I hope you'll join me next week for another episode as I continue to recap, preview, and highlight the athletics here at Fairview High School.